Hello and welcome to this preview of the Banker's Top 1000 World Banks ranking for 2014. Last year, for the first time, a Chinese bank topped the top 1000. This year, Chinese banks have further increased their stranglehold on the ranking, and they now hold the top two places. Their banks notched up the highest amount of profits by any country, and the four largest Chinese banks are also the world's four most profitable banks. So this is quite a record, and in this year's Top 1000 issue, we also have an interview with the Governor of the People's Bank of China, Yi Gang, in which he discusses both the achievements and the challenges facing Chinese banks. Other big trends in the Top 1000 this year are record-breaking profits of $920 billion, 23% up on last year, and driven largely by the efforts of Chinese and American banks. In the Eurozone, there has been a recovery in some countries, such as in Spain and in Greece, but continuing problems in others, such as Italy. And in the emerging markets, there's a mixed picture, with some banks suffering in the ranking as their national currencies fell against the dollar, but others, such as Kenya, doing well on the back of a sound business model and their ability to return 49% on capital on the back of high growth. So back to the big picture, and looking at this year's top 10 ranked by Tier 1 capital, you'll see that Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, remains top, but is joined in the number 2 spot by China Construction Bank, which has moved up from 5th position last year. Bank of China has moved from 9th to 7th, and Agricultural Bank of China has moved up one place from 10 to 9. So apart from ICBC, which was top and so could not move any higher, the other 3 Chinese state-owned banks have all moved up the ranking. By contrast, JP Morgan, Bank of America and HSBC all moved down a place to 3, 4 and 5 respectively. China now has a grand total of 110 banks in the ranking, more than from any other country apart from the US. And as you will see from this next chart, together they make $292 billion, 32% of the total, and by far the largest share of total profits. US banks have recovered well and make a healthy 20% of global profits, but UK banks are still ailing with only a meagre 2.37% share. And before the crisis, they accounted for 11% of total profits. As I said, the Eurozone is a story of two halves, and the next chart shows the 5 countries that performed the largest turnarounds in their banking sectors. Spain tops the chart, turning $68 billion of losses last year into nearly $13 billion of profits. Greece is second with an $11 billion turnaround, and Ireland's in 3rd place, as even though its banks are still losing money, they have managed to reduce the amount of the losses. But Europe's definitely not free from its problems yet, as the next table shows. All these banks in the table of top 10 losses are European, and 4 of the 5 top spots are held by Italian banks. So to sum up, it's been another great year for China, with Chinese banks helping to push up global profits to record highs, but with former heavyweight countries such as the UK still struggling, and very much a mixed picture in the Eurozone. The Banker's Top 1000 World Banks contains a wealth of information with breakdowns by country and by region, by return on capital, by loan to deposit, by non-performing loans and cost-to-income ratios, among many other measures. The rankings will appear in the July issue of The Banker, along with commentary from the Banker's team of editors on what the rankings mean in terms of trends. Bankers from around the globe will be studying their form in the Banker's Top 1000 rankings. Anyone wishing to order a copy of the July issue can do so at www.top1000worldbanks.com. The Top 1000 ranking is taken from the Banker database, which contains a wider range of data on many more banks that appear in the published ranking. Anyone wishing to subscribe to the full database can do so at www.thebankerdatabase.com. And for those who'd like to see what the database can provide, we're offering a free 14-day trial using the access code that appears at the end of this video.